Hi and welcome to Classic MGB. Now, before we start, a word of warning. If you like your MGBs original and unmodified, then you might want to look away now. On the other hand, it may change your views, so keep watching and let us know what you think in the comments. So, with that word of caution, here we go with 10 unusual MGBs. We'll start with this 1969 MGB, which on first glance from the front looks like any other MGB Roadster. That said, those wheels certainly aren't standard and give a bit of a clue as to what's to come, because when you open the bonnet, the engine's not actually there. A quick look at the rear view confirms that this MGB is actually built on a 1967 MG-Beetle floor pan that's been shortened by around 3 inches. Now, whilst the B-Series engine isn't perfect, one does have to ask why you'd replace it with this air-cooled alternative. Maidstone sports cars in Kent in the UK have a reputation for high-quality work, and also for building some amazing MGB specials, and a couple of their creations appear in our list. With the continued craze for 4x4 vehicles, the first one is this off-road MGB. The design brief was to create a vehicle based on the MGB which would be pleasant to drive on the road, but will also have amazing off-road capabilities. This was accomplished by cutting a 1988 Range Rover chassis to fit an MGB body. Much easier said than done, and there's a link to the full details in the description. We reckon they've done a great job. Now, whilst stretch limos are common for celebrities and hen nights, usually they're based on larger cars, so building one based on an MGB seems a little odd to say the least, but it has been done several times, as can be seen in these photos. There have also been less dramatic MGB stretches, like this 1972 Standard Roadster, that's one of 18 that was stretched by 11 inches to make a 2+2. I wonder how many still exist. If you know, let us know in the comments. Continuing the stretch theme, how about this MGB that's been stretched to be a full 11 inches wider than the standard car? There's actually very little of the original car left, as most of the body parts needed to be fabricated, and the car is far from standard under the hood as well. The B-Series engine has been replaced with a supercharged 350 cubic inch unit from a 1995 Camaro Z28, producing an unbelievable 535 horsepower and 550 pounds-feet of torque. Certainly an interesting car, and there's several links in the description, including a video of the car being driven. If you had to guess what this car was, we're pretty sure that your first guess wouldn't be an MGB GT, but that's how this car started life. As you can see, it's been hugely modified, and these mods include custom designed suspension, a competition drivetrain, and a 2-litre turbocharged GM Ecotec engine, producing around 350 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. There's full details on this one as well online, and there's a link in the description. Now, many would argue the classic Pininfarina designed MGB GT was difficult to beat, but that doesn't stop people trying, and they don't come much more modified than this one. Modelled on a GT3 car, this car is part MGB and part Mustang, and looks like all the performance parts are purely Ford, including the 5-litre engine with automatic gearbox. The interior looks very different to the standard car too, with the partly cutaway steering wheel and other Ford features. So what is this car worth, do you reckon? Well, apparently the car was up for sale in 2021 for just $11,000. If you want to find out more, take a look at the owner's walk around video, linked in the description. Continuing the GT3 theme, how about this one? Believe it or not, this car started life as a 1966 MGB GT, and when finished will end up as a street-legal GT3 car, complete with massive wheels and even larger wing. Now, probably the most important part of a GT3 car is the engine, and this one's no exception. Clearly the engine builder really knows his stuff, and the extent of the modifications are well beyond the scope of this video, so if you want chapter and verse, take a look at the links to the Speed Hunters feature in the description. Before we get into our top 3, if you're enjoying this video, it would be great if you'd like it and share it to anyone that's interested. Of course, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel and click the bell for notifications, that would be even better. Okay, back to the modified MGBs and our top 3. Engine changes are clearly popular in the modified MGB world, with many V8 conversions about, mainly using the tried and tested Rover unit that was used in the factory V8. But this one takes things to a completely new level. The massive air intake in the bonnet is a hint to what lurks underneath. No less than a 383 Chevy with aluminium heads and high-rise manifold. For those on the other side of the pond, 383 cubic inches is around 6.2 litres. Clearly in the hot rod mould, this 1974 MGB is barely recognisable from the original, with flared arches all round, huge alloys and side exhausts. As usual, more info in the link in the description. There can't be many car nuts that haven't owned one or more Hot Wheels cars in the past, and usually they're based on a real car. But not many have done it the other way and built a full-size Hot Wheels car. Ironically, this car, named MGB-East, has beaten over 250 entries and has won the UK leg of the Hot Wheels Legends Tour. The car features extended arches covering highly polished alloys, side exhaust, and under the bonnet there's a Jaguar V6 engine mated to a Range Rover prop shaft. Performance? Well, it's reported to top out at around 150 miles an hour, with the 0 to 60 sprint taking 4.2 seconds. Sadly, this UK MGB was beaten in the Legends final by this Mazda from New Zealand. I know which one I'd prefer though. So we come to our final unusual MGB. It's our second entry from Maidstone Sports Cars, and it started life as a tired 1968 Roadster. Now, there have been a few cutaway MGBs in the past, but this one actually drives, which clearly introduced some significant engineering challenges. The cut was made a couple of inches toward the near side to retain several central features. I've actually seen this car in the flesh when it was on display at the MG Owners Club in 2023. And I can confirm that the mechanical standard is exceptional and the interior is finished in the same way. Whilst I'd not want to drive this on a busy motorway, it's certainly a fantastic way to modify an MGB. So there you go, 10 modified MGBs. Certainly not to everyone's taste, but it does show just what can be done with enough enthusiasm. Let us know in the comments what you think and which one's your favourite, but rest assured we'll be back to highlighting more normal MGBs in the next video. As always, many thanks for watching. Take care.